Georgie Wardlaw, brilliant to Stevenson. A bender floating towards the goal square. It's going to stay in. Tucker back to fight. Phoenix Spicer. I nearly had a bristle moment and lost my mind there. Back to Aaron Hall. Here comes McDonald. Extraordinary season marvel. Wardlaw's been incredible. Take over, Jack.
He's run out of gas, Darce. You did well. All sorts of stuff happening.
What do you think is going to transpire here today, Rocky?
Oh, I think Port Adelaide should win comfortably as well today. I think a 5 or 6 goal win.
Not giving any
I think
racing to Hawthorn at all.
Sicily's a massive out for them. Yep. Port Adelaide's dangerous forward half of the ground, and as Ethan touched on, Zach Butters through the midfield there. They've just got the right balance at the moment, Port Adelaide. They've got their inside hunters, Willem Drew, Ollie Wines, Horn Francis, and then they've got the class on the outside now with Rosie Butters that are starting to find some footy. So
look at Chadwick down there walking off with a real sort of close, a tight-legged strut.
Happiness.
He asked for the extra small polo too, just so it's extra tight. He has to cut them off apparently.
He can't get them off. Is he slightly duck-feeded? What it's called where you walk with your knees together? Pigeon-toed.
He's high-fiving the crowd and he's making it all about him, isn't he, Chad? Yeah. But that's what we love about him.
He is indeed. Good crowd today.
About Bristol. I take from Rock that Hawthorn may as well not have got on the plane.
Yeah.
May as well not have actually made the effort to get over here.
Yep.
Oh, they're 2 in a row. They're going for 3 in a row, the Hawks. That's probably been the surprise packet. I pictured them having with all the reports on, getting rid of a lot of senior players last year. I thought, well, I wasn't against what they're doing. I just thought, well, they're going to beat
St Kilda last week, a partial contender.
Yeah, it takes some pain I was thinking a couple of years, but they've surprised me. I love the way they go about it. They play a real contested style of footy, and their midfield players like John Newcomb, they just have a crack and they win the footy and get it in there.
Personal there, Rock? Is there?
I think he doesn't.
You got a personal
like Hawthorn, some history, or you're jealous of their 3 or 4 flags.
I don't like Mitch too much, so.
Oh, Sammy.
Harvey Norman replay then. They all sort of stopped and waited. Mitch Lewis just came through, attacked the footy like a good forward should, came through, parted the contest there, found the handball option. He was the only one that really went on it. Kane Farrell would want his time again. He just sort of paused and waited for the ball to bounce. And
gee, could you speak any more dully of them?
No, he's not. He's got the shit wrong.
Really,
something we got to find out. Heath,
I told you, it's Sam Mitchell.
What happened with
you and Sam Mitchell?
Cliff and Hawthorn?
Can't just be a running with Sam Mitchell creating all this.
Kicked the goal and got up and went to town.
And Port Adelaide doing, he's up and about, he's winning flags.
Tommy Rockcliffe, Triple M Rocks football.
First quarter. I think I've got to the bottom of it, Bristol.
Yeah, what do you got?
The Rock was leaving Brisbane in 2017.
Yeah.
He had a meeting with Graham Wright. Graham said, we're bringing you to Hawthorn. The deal was done.
Yes. On the table.
And instead of that, it was Ty Vickery they brought in. And Rock cracked the shits. And he's had him ever since with the Hawks. And we've got it right here in front of us.
Oh, no.
It's personal with the Rock.
I knew there was something.
Your mate was strong. Strong mate.
He said, righty, every time we play against you, I'm jamming it up you.
My phone is blowing up. I've been inundated with text messages. Can you please ask Browny to explain the day he fire extinguished Warren Treadway? Can you
got time?
You got just quickly in 30 seconds. Why did you fire extinguish Warren Treadway?
We were in Ireland and he was dobbing on everybody for going out and having a good time. So he was seeing people come home and saying to Rod Austin, "Oh, these guys are going out. It's not professional enough." So then Luke Darcy put the idea in my head when we got home at about 4 a.m. that we could get his room key. And I went up and I said, "I'm Warren Treadway. Can I have my room key? I lost it." And so we went up to his room, opened the door. We didn't know that the fire extinguishers were those white foam ones. We just thought it was water, which sucked the air out of the room. And unfortunately, we almost killed him in the end. He couldn't breathe. He had to get to the door. And he had a teammate in there, Josh Branco. He was collateral damage. So
was he? I heard that he was crawling on the floor.
Had to crawl. They didn't know what had happened. They did not know what had happened. So, and then the next morning, I think Gary was the coach, and he said, "There's been an incident. Who wants to own up to fire extinguishing Warren Treadway's room?" And everybody started giggling, and we didn't own up. So yeah, it was a good day.
Not before he got the ball to Rosie, back to Wines, deliberate up the ground handball to Houston, quite inventive. Houston with a very, very high ball. Finlayson has marked 30. Brody out almost directly in front, will line up for his third.
Well, Houston probably should have given the extra handball to Bergman. He had it on, and in the end, the Hawthorn player came at him. So what that forced the kick to do was it gave it plenty of air to get over the guy trying to smother the kick.
Don't like this, Burn.
He's going around
25 out the front. He's turning our game into a shamble. 25 metres out directly in front, kicking around the corner. Don't like it. It's not football. Should be outlawed. Finlayson has a go, and he misses.
Whistle.
Could have just kicked the drop punt. Very easy thing. He's a good drop punt kick, and this is bullshit. This should not be happening. 31-point advantage with Port Adelaide.
Aim on to bring it away. Side winding left-footed to Lewis. Picked it up and controlled it beautifully to Bruce Brockman. True centre-half forward. Handball back to Luke Bruce. Can have his third go at kicking a goal in this game for 500. There it is. Luke Bruce joins the club. Second in a row, Hawks. 2-2-14. Port Adelaide 6-3-39. Triple M lifeblood scoreboard.
Every player or every Hawthorn player on the ground getting around Luke Bruce, been a legend of this footy club, multiple premiership player, and he's been the constant, hasn't he? If you're playing against Hawthorn, you just know Luke Bruce will pop up and kick a couple, have a good few moments. And he hasn't left the club. A lot of older or senior players at Hawthorn have found themselves at other clubs. He's been the one that stayed all the way through.
Chief, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to tell the audience something you've cheated on.
Something I've cheated on?
Yep.
Cheated on a pre-season run at Hawthorn.
No.
Early days.
What happened, Chief?
Early days, we'd start at the old Glenferrie Oval in Hawthorn.
Yep.
And we'd run what was called the Richmond Boulevard.
Yep.
And you sort of go down and around, and people that know where the boulevard is. And at the time, no different to, I was there 14 years, and I was at the back of distance running for 14 years because I had
You're quick.
no tank.
You're quick.
You're a power man.
No tank.
Yep.
Rodney Eade was at the back end of his career. And Rocket, it's fair to say, was looking for shortcuts just to get through the stuff that he didn't enjoy doing. And he was jogging with me, and we're jogging along one time, and he's gone, hey, come with me. We hid under this bridge and waited for him to do this sort of figure eight and come back. I reckon it was about a 6K run, and we may have run 2.5K and finished full of running.
Did you get caught
At the end? Hey?
Get caught?
No, I didn't get caught.
That's good cheating.
Didn't feel good about it.
Did you not?
And in the end, I enjoyed coming last, but knowing that I'd tried and done the job, and so it was a learning curve for a young bloke in the game.
I look at Damo and I look at Nath. I know Nath's got a million stories to choose from here, so I'm going to start with you, Nath. When have you cheated in something?
Oh.
When have you not cheated?
Yeah, correct.
As you know, I used to travel around when I played tennis when I was a young kid. So in the under 12, then
no.
I used to
Under 12 has started.
I used to run this racket with this guy called Stephen Vergona, and we used to play cards in between games. So sometimes you'd be 2 or 3 hours waiting for a game, or there's a rain delay, and 11 and 12, and you used to play with 20-cent pieces. So you might have gone in there with $3, which is massive money for an 11-year-old. But so one person would deal, and that was either me or this guy Stephen Vergona. We'd probably have about 8 people playing, but we'd figured out this system where he knows what card to come next, and we'd have little signs. And let's be honest, we never ever lost. Well, I'd walk away if I won the championship. It was a bonus, but I'd probably walk away with $15 in 20-cent coins.
A little racket.
Fleecing kids.
I thought you were going to go with how you've cheated the system with your car park, but obviously that's not the story you want to tell tonight.
No, I parked underneath again tonight, but I don't cheat the system there, Howard. It's just the people in the front gate, they like me and they let me in.
Okay, is that right?
We need to verify that.
Damo, I know this won't have been easy for you.
No, I had to
You're a
dig
creditable
deep
man.
into
Hasn't
the-
cheated in his lifetime.
No.
Huh?
Have you cheated on
Look,
anything?
it's probably won't surprise you that I might have been a bit of a boring goody two-shoes at school, Howie, and that won't surprise too many people.
No.
I do look back as though I probably could have been a bit looser, but there was once, though, I did get caught for cheating. It was in a religious education class, the Christian Brothers schooling, and Brother Fogarty caught me cheating, looking at the catechism while I was trying to give an answer to it, and I was exposed.
Exposed?
And so that was my exposure to cheating at school, Howie, in the catechism.
What was the penalty?
Nah, I did get a little bit of a meter ruler whack on the backside, like we used to get back in those days, Chief. But nothing as
Have
brutal
you come up with one or not?
I think I possibly tried to cheat at dodgeball the other night.
Yeah, that's fair
Howie.
enough.
I think one might have brushed my shoulder that I Try to move on from, Howie, in the moment.
That's funny. I got flicked at one stage and I started walking off, and Nate looks at me and goes, "That's sporting of you." As though he expected me not to come off. He wanted me to cheat.
Well, it's the big week of Lance Buddy Franklin this week. He's going to play his 350th game, of course. I think it's the Thursday night against St Kilda. Huge focus on a champion player and arguably the greatest of our time. Up there with Gary Ablett. Gary Ablett and Lance Franklin. Joey, probably the top two.
Yep.
350th game. It's going to be a lot of stories this week. Have you got a good Lance Franklin story, Daisy? On the field, off the field, Steve, I'll get to you. Obviously, you played against him so many times with the Kennett curse. Have you got one for us,
Well, we
Daisy?
know how much of a superstar Bud was, but I had interactions with him before he became an AFL star, and there was obviously big raps on him coming out of Perth. Our sisters played a lot of elite level underage netball together, and I think I was 15 or 16 at the time, following my sister around in the school holidays to Perth. And Buddy was kicking the footy out the front of it. Anyway, we got to get talking, and he said, "Do you want to come out tonight? We're going to Scarborough." I was like, "Perfect."
You're 16.
I don't have a license, but yeah, no dramas. Can you get me? He goes, "Not a drama." Still, so he was a year older, I think, 17 at this stage. Walked straight past about 100 people in the queue. He and I straight into this nightclub, drink cards and all. Thanks very much. That's Buddy Franklin, and he's a star.
Lance Franklin, before
Not
he'd
much changed.
been drafted the AFL.
Jai Caldwell scores level, 2:36 and counting. Inside forward 50 go the Bombers. Guelphy couldn't mark it. Ground ball to be won. Sliding back in, Liam Shields. Picked it up nicely, got it to Logue. To McDonald. Smothered off the boot by Stringer. Picked up by Darce Tucker. Handballs it towards the boundary line. Mackay comes charging in. Tunnel ball by Langford. Flicks it back to Phillips. Snapshot round the corner. The Bombers have got another one. D'Ambrosio's got it. Massimo D'Ambrosio, the starting sub, has given Essendon the lead back again in one of the great games of the year.
Well, that's just dangerous. You said down the other end, Jono, that's exactly where you want the footy, but it was a pressure act from Jake Stringer to get the smother on McDonald's kick. That was an exit kick, would have gone up the ground, kept it inside 50. Really smart from Phillips to give it to the small waiting at the back of the contest in D'Ambrosio, and he finished it off beautifully, Jono.
Clock stops, 23 seconds remaining. Essendon by a goal.
It'll take something special from here on the City side wing. 6-point lead to the Bombers. 20 seconds and counting. They need it inside 50. It's picked up by Perkins, who sends it over to the Medallion Club wing. Time ticks down to 12 seconds. Stevenson leads back in the race. Just got to go for home, Jaden. Go with a big long bomb. Can Larky take a mark? Ridley did well. Laverty there. Picked up by Eddie Ford. And it's going to be an Essendon victory. One of the great games that we've seen of the year in front of 40,488. It's the Bombers who prevail by 6 points over North Melbourne in a cracker on a Sunday afternoon.